Hey everybody, it's Peter B. Beautiful summer day, Monday in New England. It's going to be raining the rest of the week, so I wanted to get this video in of recent pickups. I went just before the Nationals started, like a couple of days before. I purchased two Playing Days Hall of Famer cards that I did not have. And I did a video already on them. They were Rogers Ornsby and Grover Cleveland Alexander. I had post Playing Day cards of their career, but not a Playing Days card. So I'm excited to get those two. And while you guys were at the National, I was home and picked up another Playing Days card of a Hall of Famer. Elite Hall of Famer that I wanted, and you're looking at it right here. The Hall of Famer is Mell, and this is the 1939 play ball card. Once again, I had a post Playing Days card, but I did not have a Playing Days card of Premier Hall of Famer in Mell. So I was very excited to get this. Well, you guys were having fun at the National. This just came in. That's the back of the play ball card. And I'm really excited to own a Playing Days Mell card. So that's another non-national pickup I got. I have a couple more that are coming via eBay Authenticity, and when I get them, I'll share them with you. Now, more pickups I wanted to show. And this one is a buyback, Topps buyback. When Topps started doing the buyback, I bought a couple of buybacks of players that I liked. And I liked the idea of it, that this card was pulled by a kid many years ago. It was probably tucked away in his collection. And as he or she got older, sold it to a dealer, and it may have passed around to a couple more people, and eventually it was for sale again, and Topps bought it back, stamped it with their buyback stamp. It was reissued in a pack, and someone else opened it for the second time. And I liked them. Like I said, I was collecting players that I liked. When the Topps Heritage included the 1971 cards as buybacks, I made a point to try to get every single one of them that had the action photo. It was the first time Topps did action photos on baseball cards, and I wanted a complete set in buyback format. Well, the Hall of Famers like Bob Gibson, Brooks Robinson, Joe Morgan, they have action photos, but I have never seen them in buyback. So I don't have none of the Hall of Famers, but from the non-Hall of Famers, I have every single one except Andy Etchebarren of the Baltimore Orioles. So if anyone's listening and has a buyback 1971 Andy Etchebarren, I'd be interested in getting it from you. I almost got it, but my bid was just too low, and someone else got it, and I never saw it again on eBay up for sale. Then I saw Shane from Shoebox Legends buyback Franken set, and I was amazed that he was putting together a top set, 1 through whatever, just using buyback cards from different years. And I thought, gee, that would be fun to do also. So Shane got me that idea of thinking, and I started a buyback Franken set, and I'm actually kind of proud of it. It's probably what I've been working on the most over the last few years, is doing that set. I wanted every team, when Topps was putting out baseball from 52 to now, I wanted every team as a buyback example in my set. And what I mean is like the Kansas City A's, as well as the Kansas City A's, as well as the Oakland A's, the New York Giants, as well as the San Francisco Giants. And I wanted an example of every year. Well, I do have examples of almost every team. I just missed out on Boston Braves. It was a 1953 Eddie Matthews buyback that was up for sale, and it was going off late auction on eBay. And I went to bed and I put in a decent offer. I could have gone higher, but I put in a decent offer I thought would win it. And when I woke up this morning, I lost the auction by $5. And I was, I've never seen another Boston Brave example in buyback since. I have the Milwaukee Braves and Atlanta Braves, but I don't have a Boston Brave. So other than that, I have every team. And I also have every year from 52 to 80. I wanted an example card from every year except 1957. And for some reason, 1957s just aren't appearing on eBay. I have a search for it, and they're just not appearing. And then one day, last week or 2 weeks ago, Shane from Shoebox Legends was pulling cards out of his cheese box, from his buyback cheese box. And he pulled this card out of the box. It's a 1957 Don Lee from the Detroit Tigers with the original buyback stamp. Now, to be honest with you, I never heard of Don Lee before, and I already have Detroit Tigers, a lot of them, but this is a 1957. So I made a comment in Shane's video, and I said, Shane, I know every card you pull from the cheese box doesn't make your Frankenset. And I don't know what he does with them, but not all of them makes the Frankenset. For example, if he had a card number 379, there was a better card or better player, then Mr. Don Lee wouldn't make the set. So I said, Shane, I've been after a 1957. If it doesn't make the Frankenset, I will buy it off you. Just let me know how much you want. Well, Shane, being the nice and generous guy he is, he said, don't worry about it. I will send it to you. It's a gift. And I was amazed. Thank you, Shane. It will make my Frankenset for sure. Now I have a complete run of at least every year from 1952 to 1980. Every team with the exception of the Boston Braves. And I also have a lot of post-1980 buybacks. I should figure out what years I need. It's probably not many, but I should probably figure out what years I need up to, I think Shane said they did it until 2015. And Shane, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But I know I have most of them. I just have to make sure I have every one of them, and if not, I'll be looking for those years too. So I'll have a complete run of years that Topps did buybacks. So, very generous gift from my hobby friend Shane at Shoebox Legends. And like I said, Shane, thank you very much. Very generous of you to give me this card. Now, I have some other pickups, and these are right up Shane's alley. I'm sure he will enjoy them. We both love the Boston Red Sox. We both grew up in Connecticut. I grew up in Rhode Island. I think Shane grew up in Connecticut, but now lives in Rhode Island. And this is a Jarren Duran Topps Chrome rookie card. Duran's having a good year for the Red Sox. Made the All-Star team. Was the All-Star MVP this year. And I know Shane would love this card. And I do too. And that's the back. Jarren Duran. And I got another card that will be right up Shane's alley. I don't have too many basketball cards, but when I do, it happens to be of this guy, Larry Bird, and here's a, I don't even know what it's from, Panini Prism. But another card that Shane will go after with the green color matching Celtics. I don't know what kind of pattern they call it, but the green sparkly background. Another card I recently got that's right up Shane's alley. It's going to be my collection. My favorite basketball player and my favorite team when he was playing in those years. They had that run. And I got another card right up Shane's alley. Shane's been trying to get good examples of Negro League players. And when they recently put the Negro League stats official in the Major League stats, and they had Rick Wood Field game, Topps Now did a special Josh Gibson card. And once again, this is right up Shane's alley. And here's the back, celebrating that Rick Wood Field game. So I ordered that from Topps. I don't have many. Of course, they're all post-playing day cards. This is maybe my third Josh Gibson card, but a fantastic player. And if you're lucky, Topps would give you a bonus, and they just so happen did. This is a blue bordered card, number 2/49. So I was lucky and also got this blue border card. So those are fitting recent pickups. I got one from Shane to help me with my Franken set, and others that remind me of Shane, right down his alley that he's looking for. Now the last card I'm looking for is more of a Picker Jim type card. And this is the other Joe Morgan. This is the Joe Morgan that had a brief stint in the major leagues and became a minor league manager in the Red Sox system. He managed Pawtucket Red Sox. He eventually went up, became the first base coach, then the pitching coach, and then the third base coach for the Boston Red Sox. And on July 14th, 1988, the Red Sox fired the manager, I didn't write it down, McNamara. They were 9 games in back of the AL East leader, and they fired John McNamara. They hired Joe Morgan, July 14th, 1988, like I said, as an interim manager. Now, a little bit about Joe Morgan. He made it to the big leagues with the Milwaukee Braves in 1959. He played 13 games with them, and then the Kansas City A's purchased his contract. He finished the year in Kansas City playing 22 games for them. In 1960, over the winter, he was acquired by the Philadelphia Phillies, playing 26 games for them. Mid-season, he was sent to Cleveland, playing 22 games in 1960 and 4 games in 1961, when he was then sent down to the minors. He was traded to the St. Louis Cardinals minor league system, and he bounced around from team to team in their system. Before in 1964, he did come back up to the big leagues for a 4-game cup of coffee, and that was his last big league time. His major league career is 88 games, 36 hits, 2 home runs, and a .193 average. So very mediocre player. This is him pictured on the Cleveland team playing third base. The back of it. And so this is the other Joe Morgan. And most of you people that are not in the Boston area probably never even heard of the other Joe Morgan. But we in Boston do. Because like I said, he became the interim manager July 14th, 1988. As soon as he took over, the Red Sox went 12-0. And Morgan Magic was born in New England. And every Red Sox fan was excited again. He lost his 13th game as manager, but then again started a new winning streak. In just 2 weeks, the Sox went from being 9 games out of first place to just 1.5 games out of first place. After going 19-1, the Sox front office decided to make him full-time manager and no longer interim. He finished the year with a 46-31 record, which is a .600 average, which is fabulous. And they came in first place. But they lost to Oakland in the playoffs. Morgan skippered the Sox to a third-place finish, this is AL East, in 1989, and another first-place finish in 1990, once again losing the playoffs to the Oakland A's. And then third place again in 1991. And that was his big league career. The Morgan Magic was really something. I lived through it. Really was excited. I know Picker Jim would know right away what the Morgan Magic was. And it was real cool. Now, I have another story about the other Joe Morgan. I lived in Foxborough at the time. That's where the New England Patriots play. And I needed new tires, and it was a very good tire store, a town over in Walpole, Massachusetts. And so I was sitting there waiting for them to, put new tire on it for me. And in walks Joe Morgan. Now, Joe Morgan was born and had always lived in Walpole. I believe that he was still the manager at this, he was like 1990 when this happened. It was off season. And he sat like right across from me in the waiting room. And I didn't know what to talk to him about. We chatted up a little bit of conversation about the weather and about baseball. And he was a very nice guy. And whenever he was interviewed on the TV, I always figured he was a very nice guy. And he was. Low-key, down-to-earth, blue-collar, nice guy. So that's a little bit about the other Joe Morgan. So Shane, once again, thank you very much for this card. This completes 1957 for my Franken set. And I'm sure anyone who watches my channel knows Shane and watches his channel. If not, it is Shoebox Legends, and he does a great job. He's into vintage as well as cards like this and like this and like this. And I mentioned Picker Jim. He's a vintage guy, loves the Red Sox, loves Carl Yastrzemski, and he would get cars like this. So Picker Jim is another great channel, which I'm sure anyone listening to me knows Picker Jim, but if not, definitely check out his channel. So that's it. I'm going to probably record another video later this afternoon because it's going to rain all week, and I'll post it tomorrow, Tuesday. So have a great Monday, everybody. Goodbye.